over. The cameras stopped. The crowd walked away. Cardi B turned her back, Stefon Diggs slid into that car, and that's when the real footage leaked. Nobody was supposed to see what happened after. Now sit down. Shut the door. Because what the streets just pulled out of that Burtonsville parking lot is the thing nobody on TMZ, nobody on the timeline, nobody in her camp wanted you watching frame by frame. And the more you look at it, the worse it gets. Let's get into the mess no one else seemed to catch, because this mess deserves a full deep dive. Okay y'all, I need you to forget every clean little version of this story you've been fed for the last 72 hours. Forget that they're hungry, it's just a couple things spin. Forget the she's still in love headlines. Because what was actually playing out on Wednesday, May 13th, 2026, on a random side street next to a coffee shop and a gym in Burtonsville, Maryland, that wasn't a couple's spat. That was a woman standing in the middle of a hurricane she didn't build, screaming at a man who was leaning on a sports car like nothing in the world could touch him. And somebody somewhere hit record. That's where this whole thing cracks open. TMZ dropped the clip first. Grainy, shaky, no clean audio. Just Cardi B, small frame, big energy, waving her arms, stepping into Stefon Diggs' space, while a man next to her places one hand on her shoulder like he's holding her back from doing something she would absolutely do. Diggs, arms crossed, sunglasses energy, leaning against the car like he's been here before. Like this is Tuesday for him. One person close enough to the moment caught a single line off her mouth. For words. That bleep is messy. And here's the part that should make every single person rewind that clip. Nobody knows who she was talking about. Diggs? Offset? The chef? The lawyer? The blogger? The baby mama? Take your pick, because at this point in her life, the suspects are stacked like a deck of cards. Choose your own adventure. Security pushed fans away. Fans who wanted autographs got turned around like the parking lot was suddenly a crime scene. The argument lasted at least 10 full minutes. 10 minutes is not hunger. 10 minutes is not, baby I had a bad day. 10 minutes is a woman who has been holding something in for weeks, and finally let the seal pop in public. And here's the part that flipped my whole stomach. 4 days earlier, these two looked like a wedding magazine. Pause on that. 4 days. Saturday, May 9th. Mother's Day weekend. Diggs Deep Foundation hosts a wellness event in DC pink backdrops. Soft lights. Mothers everywhere. Stefon Diggs walks Cardi B in like she's the headliner of his entire life. He dips her, kisses her cheek. Photos go up. The internet melts. She runs her hand across his chest in front of the cameras like she's marking territory. They greet every mother in the room. They chat. They smile. They look healed. She had just sent his mother a Mother's Day gift. From the heart. A whole package. Signaling to the world she was all in on this reconciliation. And then Wednesday morning hits. And the same woman who was running her hand across his chest is yelling at him in a parking lot while a stranger physically pulls her back. What changed in 96 hours? That is the question. That is the entire question. And the answer? The answer is buried under 3 lawsuits, a paternity filing, a deleted Instagram story, a chef's video, a Mother's Day post, a missed Super Bowl, a hospital visit, an absent ex-husband, and a divorce that refuses to die. Y'all want the real timeline? Lock in. Because I'm about to walk you through every single landmine in this woman's life that brought her to that coffee shop screaming her lungs out. And most blogs aren't even close to connecting these dots. Rehook one. Drop a like before you keep watching. Because everything from here gets darker. And we have not even gotten to the chef yet. Let me back this up. Cardi B response after the video leaked? She brushed it off on X, quote, "Sometimes I forget I'm a celebrity. Damn, y'all ain't never cuss your baby dad out when you hungry." That single tweet did so much heavy lifting it should be in the gym. She tried to package a 10-minute screaming match as a hangry moment. She tried to shrink the entire situation down to the size of a snack run. And the part of the internet that loves her ran with it. Oh, they're just hungry, mind your business. But the part of the internet that's been paying attention? The receipts people? The court watchers? They started typing. Because here's what Cardi did not address. She did not address Offset. She did not address the chef. She did not address the courtroom in Massachusetts. She did not address the deleted Instagram story. She did not address the DNA test. And most of all, she did not address the fact that legally, on paper, she is still somebody's wife while raising a newborn with somebody else. Yeah, read that again. This whole story starts and ends with one signature that never got signed. One piece of paper that refuses to close. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Cardi B filed for divorce from Offset in August 2024. After almost 7 years of marriage. 3 kids deep. Culture 7 years old. Wave 4. Blossom, born September 2024. Yes, the same month she filed. The math on its own tells you a story. That divorce has been crawling through the court system for almost 2 years now. 2 years. Most divorces of this size get settled in months. This one keeps stalling, keeps hitting walls, keeps mysteriously getting messier. And every time you think it's about to be done, something else gets thrown into the file. Cardi has been very clear in public. She has said over and over that Offset is barely involved with their 3 kids. She said she's covering most of the 6-figure child expenses by herself. She has described him as absent, financially missing, emotionally checked out. And she has done all of this while touring, recording, going on spaces, dropping tracks, and trying to mother a newborn with a brand new partner. Now here's where most blogs stop the story. They stop at Cardi versus Offset, messy divorce, water under the bridge. But we are not a regular blog. We're going deeper. Because the moment Cardi and Stefon Diggs went Instagram official in the summer of 2025, Offset stopped being quiet. He looked at the entire relationship, the soft launch, the hard launch, the matching outfits, and called it a good PR rollout for her album. Let that sit with you. This man called his own kid's mother's new love story a marketing strategy. He looked at a relationship she described as genuine love and reduced it to album promo. And then he kept going. He posted a GIF, a man throwing a football, with the words "Today I pass" written on it. A direct shot at Diggs. Subtle as a brick. Diggs' response? A black and white photo of himself catching a football. No caption. No words. Mic drop. Now we got a quiet little NFL beef inside a divorce inside a R&B drama. This is not a clean breakup. This is a slow public collapse of a marriage that still legally exists. And every blog telling you they moved on is lying to you. The paperwork is the proof. As long as that paper sits unsigned in a courtroom drawer, Offset has legal standing in Cardi B's life that no boyfriend in the world can override. That is not gossip. That is law. And that legal reality is exactly what blew this entire situation apart. Rehook 2. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is your warning. Because what I'm about to tell you next is the moment the whole story exploded. The moment Diggs got cold. The moment Cardi got scared. And it starts with 3 letters. DNA. November 2025. Cardi B gives birth to a baby boy with Stefon Diggs. They lovingly call him Baby Brim. Baby touchdown. Cute. She had announced her pregnancy in September on CBS Mornings. Glowing. Smiling. I'm happy. I feel like I'm in a good space. Me and my man are very supportive of each other. Pure joy. Sealed and stamped. And then, almost the second that baby took his first breath, Offset posted 3 words on his Instagram story. My kid LOL. Then he deleted it. But the internet does not delete. The internet screenshots. And within an hour, the post was everywhere. And the implication was absolutely insane. He was suggesting that the newborn baby Cardi just had with another man, an NFL player, was actually his. And then his brother Speedy allegedly added gasoline to the fire. He posted a story that said, and I quote, "My nephew LOL. You know that feeling when you're reading something and you have to put your phone down? That was the day." Offset's team rushed into damage control like a fire crew. A spokesperson told TMZ, and I'm reading you the line, "Any statements attributed to Offset circulating on social media are completely fabricated." They said the post was fake. They said it was misinformation. They said Offset still wishes Cardi nothing but the best. Cardi was not buying a single syllable. She went to X and put it on record. Quote, "Y'all be thinking it's so funny, and it's not. It's been over a year, and I'm still being harassed and threatened to the point that I feel like my life in danger. I want you to hear that line again because the internet keeps glossing over it. I feel like my life in danger. That is not a woman laughing off a meme. That is a woman describing fear. Pause. Reread. Move on. But my kid LOL was just the appetizer. The main course landed inside a courthouse. Because Offset took the post off Instagram and put the same energy on a legal filing. He officially requested a DNA test on Cardi and Diggs' newborn son. A real, court-stamped, lawyer-served, judge-reviewed demand for paternity. This was not a tweet. This was not a story. This was a legal weapon. And here's the part nobody on social media wanted to deal with. He had a real shot at it. Because in certain states, when a married woman gives birth, the husband is presumed to be the legal father. It does not matter who the biological dad is. The law literally hands the husband a claim until proven otherwise. That's called the marital presumption of paternity. And Offset, sitting on that unsigned divorce, walked into court with that presumption in his back pocket. A judge denied his DNA request on the newborn in a February 25, 2026 court order. Big sigh of relief for Cardi. But the court allowed Offset to push forward with a DNA test on one of her other children. The identity of that child is redacted in the public filings. Let that sit on your chest. There is, somewhere in a courthouse file, a child whose paternity is being privately questioned. We don't know which one. We don't know why. We just know the judge let it move. This is not gossip. This is documented. And it is the most dangerous turn in the entire story. Rehook 3. If you're still here, you're already deeper than 90% of the internet. Because we still haven't gotten to the chef. We still haven't gotten to the trial. We still haven't gotten to the shooting outside the Florida casino. We have a lot to cover. Now here is where Stefon Diggs starts to crack. Because remember, while Offset was filing paperwork, Diggs was sitting on his own bomb. And his bomb had a name. Jamila Adams. His former personal chef. A woman who, in early 2026, walked into a Massachusetts courthouse and accused him of felony strangulation and misdemeanor assault and battery. The alleged incident? December 2025. His home in Dedham, Massachusetts. According to her testimony, Diggs walked into her room, smacked her with an open hand, then wrapped his arm around her neck and choked her. She described their relationship as complicated, previously sexual, not sexual at the time of the alleged attack. Then the choke, then the police, then the headlines. And those headlines did not stop. They piled up week after week, month after month, while Cardi was trying to carry a newborn and 3 other kids and a tour. The professional damage was instant. The New England Patriots, the team that gave him a 3-year, $69 million contract, cut him in March 2026. They saved $16.8 million in cap space. And just like that, the man Cardi was building a future with became unemployed. Mid-criminal trial. Imagine being her right now. Imagine those phone calls. Imagine those nights. The trial started May 5th, 2026. 2 days. That's it. 2 days and the entire case detonated. The defense said no assault ever happened. They said the allegations were financially motivated. They alleged that Adams's lawyer had demanded $5.5 million from Diggs. When Adams was asked about that figure on the stand, she refused to answer. The judge warned her, said, and I'm quoting the court, "This is not an opportunity for you to interject your own narrative. If you continue to do so, your entire testimony may be stricken." That was the moment in the case. That was the crack. The defense closed with one of the cleanest lines of the year. They told the jury, "You have not been provided with a single shred of credible evidence to show that any assault happened inside the house that day." Jury deliberated 90 minutes. 90. Came back not guilty on every count. Strangulation? Not guilty. Assault and battery? Not guilty. Diggs cried in court. Said domestic violence is a serious issue in this country, and it's disconcerting when people try to use it as a sword to extract money. That should have been the end. It was not the end, because days after that not guilty verdict, Jamila Adams went online and recorded an emotional video aimed directly at Cardi B. She did not aim it at the court. She did not aim it at the media. She aimed it at Cardi. She said, and this is verbatim, "Cardi, you know I didn't lie. You know exactly who he really is. He did it to you." She also claimed she had previously apologized to Cardi for how Diggs allegedly treated her during her pregnancy. Read that again. He did it to you. This is the part nobody is saying out loud on the timeline when a chef tells the public, "He did it to you, and I already apologized to her about it." That is not a random throwaway line. That is a woman who believes she knows what happens behind those closed doors. Whether the court ruled with her or against her, that statement is now floating in the air. And 4 days before Cardi pulled up to that coffee shop in Burtonsville, Diggs' Deep Foundation Mother's Day event. Pink lights, smiles, cuddles, the whole performance. Now look at the timeline again. Acquittal on May 7th-ish. Mother's Day event on May 9th. Burtonsville fight on May 13th. That's not a love story. That's a pressure cooker. Rehook 4. Hold up. Before I move forward, I want to remind you, we have not even touched on the shooting yet. We have not touched on Offset getting hit in Florida. We have not touched on Tasha K being back in court. We have not touched on the new whispers about another woman in the picture. So lock in, because this story is bigger than the parking lot. Let me pull back the camera for a second. This past April, on the 6th of 2026, Offset was reportedly injured in a shooting outside a Florida casino. Yes, that Offset. The same Offset filing DNA requests. The same Offset posting, "My kid LOL." The same Offset who told the Associated Press, all the way back in August 2024, that he was trying to move on. Quote, "It was great while it lasted. That shouldn't be the topic for either one of us no more. It's a book that's closed." The book was not closed. The book was set on fire. So this man, bleeding, recovering, dealing with whatever it was outside that casino. And what does Cardi do? She reportedly puts the bitterness aside and checks on him. She calls in. She makes sure he's alive. She makes sure he's okay. That one phone call says everything about why this divorce won't die. Because Cardi B is not a robot. She is a woman with 3 kids by this man. She built a life with him. She walked down red carpets with him. She defended him on Twitter for years. She cannot just turn it off, even when she's furious. Even when she's done. Even when she's trying to love somebody else. And that emotional tether, that complicated, messy, "I hate you but I called to check on you" tether, is the exact thing Offset has been using to keep one foot in her life. Whether he knows he's doing it or not. And then there's Tasha K, the blogger. The same Tasha K who lost $4 million to Cardi in defamation. The same Tasha K who filed for bankruptcy months later. She got dragged back into court. A judge found her in civil contempt for violating earlier court orders that banned her from making remarks about Cardi, Offset, and Diggs. The court ordered her to pay Cardi's attorney's fees. And in a wild twist, the court even imposed sanctions on Tasha's bankruptcy lawyer. Phew. So right now, Cardi has Offset filing paternity tests on her children. She has Tasha K being sanctioned for breaking court orders involving her name. She has a chef going on Instagram telling the world Diggs did it to her. She has an NFL career around Diggs that is on pause. She has a Super Bowl moment that turned cold. She has a newborn under a year old. And she has 3 other kids who need their mother every single day. That is not stress. That is suffocation. Rehook 5. If you're feeling overwhelmed reading this, imagine living it. Now look back at that Burtonsville footage. Look at the way her arms move. Look at the way that bystander steps in. Look at Diggs leaning on that car like he's auditioning to be calm. Look at it again. Because I don't think she was yelling about food. I think the streets are right. Let me give you what insiders are saying. This is the part that hasn't fully hit the timeline yet. Insiders close to Cardi's circle are saying she felt blindsided after the chef's emotional post-acquittal video. They say the line, "I already apologized to you," hit different. They say Cardi has been quietly asking questions in private that she has never asked in public. They say Diggs has been distant since the courtroom drama and only stepped back up in late April to show her he wants to make it work. A second source told People that Cardi pulled away from the drama in February. She didn't trust him and felt like things were going on behind her back. That quote is in print. That quote is on the record. Now layer that on top of Offset's "my kid LOL." And you've got a woman who is being psychologically hammered from 3 directions at once. Ex-husband, boyfriend, boyfriend's accuser. All speaking at the same time. All claiming a piece of her truth. That parking lot was not about a sandwich. That parking lot was the breaking point. Rehook 6. Here is the part most channels won't tell you. Because to say it out loud is to admit that this story might be bigger than her. Bigger than him. Bigger than all of it. Let me explain. There is a 5% piece of this story that's barely surfaced. Whispers from people in DC-adjacent circles are saying Diggs's after-party run in late April, the one after Cardi's Capital One Arena show, there was someone else in the room. Not romantically confirmed, not denied either, just present. The same week he was stepping it up for Cardi. A source familiar with the room described it like, she walked in like she belonged there. That has not been confirmed by either camp. But it has been said, multiple times, by multiple mouths. Choose your own adventure. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that's the chatter floating around the people who actually saw who came in and out of that after party. And if it makes it from whisper to receipt, the Burtonsville footage suddenly stops being a mystery. Now zoom out one more time. Stefon Diggs isn't signed. He's not on a roster. He's a free agent with a not guilty verdict and an NFL conduct review still hanging over his head. That review can hit him independent of the court ruling. The league plays by its own book. So even after winning his criminal case, he has not won the public case. He has not won the corporate case. He has not won the locker room case. And every camera that catches him next to Cardi B becomes part of his redemption arc, or his unraveling. He needs her too. That's the part nobody is saying. He needs the optics. He needs the Mother's Day pink backdrop. He needs the wellness event photo. He needs the cuddle. Because right now, the man without a team is also the man whose value in public is being held up by the woman next to him. And maybe, just maybe, that is exactly what she felt in that parking lot. That she's carrying him. That his version of showing up is showing up for cameras. Rehook 7. Stay with me. Because we're now in the part that most channels would never publish in this order. We've gone aftermath to chef, to courtroom, to NFL, to ex-husband, to DNA filing, to deleted Instagram story, to baby touchdown, to Florida casino shooting, to Tasha K court order, to insider whispers. And we still have one more piece of the puzzle that nobody is talking about. The Mother's Day post. When Cardi sent Stefon's mother a heartfelt gift, that was not just a sweet gesture. That was a public statement. That was a woman saying, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm putting my flag in this family." She did that 96 hours before standing in a parking lot screaming her head off. That tells me one of 2 things. Option 1. She meant the Mother's Day gesture in the moment, and something landed in her lap on Tuesday or Wednesday that nuked it. A phone call, a photo, a text, a bank statement, something. Option 2. The Mother's Day post was already her trying to convince herself this was working. A woman performing certainty she did not feel. Because women have done that since the beginning of time. We have all watched a friend post a perfect anniversary photo while crying in the bathroom that same night. Either option is heartbreaking. Either option is real. Either option ends with her in a parking lot. Now her PR move? I was just hungry, y'all. That's her go-to deflection. And honestly, it's smart. It downsizes the optics. It reframes the narrative. It makes you laugh instead of think. It buys her another news cycle. And it lets her get back on that tour bus without the entire timeline turning on her. But the cameras don't lie. 10 minutes is 10 minutes. Body language is body language. A stranger physically holding you back is not hangry. That is intervention. Rehook 8. Drop a comment with one word. Messy. If you've been keeping up with every twist, I want to see who actually made it this far. Because what I'm about to say next is the verdict piece. Where does this story sit right now? Let me lay it out. Diggs isn't signed. NFL conduct review still pending. Acquitted but not in the clear. His career hangs on his next move. His public image hangs on Cardi B. Cardi is touring, carrying a newborn, co-parenting 3 other kids with an estranged husband she cannot legally remove from her file. She's reportedly giving Diggs another shot, according to Us Weekly. A source said she still has love for him, which makes it difficult to walk away. People reports the couple has been in closer contact lately, and things are no longer contentious. Another source says Diggs stepped it up a few weeks ago and showed her that he wants to make it work. So which is it? Are they back? Are they over? Are they hiding it? Are they performing it? Choose your own adventure. Because not even her own camp is telling one story. Then there's the receipts from April. Diggs spotted at Capital One Arena. Little Miss Drama Tour stop. Cardi joking to the crowd. I might get put on my back tonight. Diggs at the after party. They reportedly leave together. Soft launch part 2. Then Mother's Day. The dip. The kiss. The hand on chest. The pink backdrop. Then Burtonsville. Yelling. Hand on her shoulder pulling her back. That bleep is messy. 10 minutes. Crowd shoot off. That is not a relationship. That is a roller coaster track with no operator. Offset meanwhile sits in the shadows. Recovering from a shooting. Still legally married. Still posting jabs. Still filing motions. Still the only man on earth who can legally affect the names on her birth certificates until a judge says otherwise. The chef sits online, posting messages aimed at Cardi like personal letters with no envelope. Tasha K sits in contempt. The internet sits with popcorn. And the divorce sits unsigned. Here's the verdict piece. Because this is where I'm going to tell you what most channels won't say out loud. This entire situation is not actually about Cardi being unfaithful, or Diggs being violent, or Offset being petty, or a chef being scorned. This story is about one piece of paper, one signature, one court date that keeps getting pushed. If that divorce had closed on time, Offset doesn't get marital presumption. Offset doesn't get a chance at DNA. Offset doesn't get a tactical foot in the door. Cardi gets to start clean. Diggs and Cardi build their family without a ghost in the legal background. The chef story still exists, but it doesn't compound with 3 other crises. The Florida shooting becomes a footnote. The My Kid LOL post becomes irrelevant. But the divorce did not close. And every single thing you've watched unfold for the last 18 months is downstream of that one fact. Rehook 9. We are almost at the very last layer. Stay with me. Because here is the line nobody is daring to say. Let me drop a deeper insight here. Because most channels are still circling the parking lot like it's the headline. It's not. It's the residue. The residue of a story that started the second Cardi B walked into that Atlanta courthouse in August of 2024 and filed those papers. From the moment ink hit the page, every move in her life has been a chess piece on a board. Offset has been quietly nudging in the background. Some of those nudges have been obvious. The GIF, the Instagram story, the DNA filing. Some have been quieter. The unanswered emails, the missed mediations, the pushed court dates, the strategic delays, the lawyer swapping, the motions being amended. Every delay is a tactic. Every tactic is a message. And the message is the same one she has been receiving for nearly 2 years now. You're not free yet. And here's the kicker. Because we always talk about Offset's role in this, we rarely talk about the other side of it. The reality that Cardi B, in a strange, complicated, almost cinematic way, has also kept herself tethered. Because the Florida casino phone call? That was a choice. The Mother's Day gift to his mother, actually his mother, I mean Diggs' mother, but also the way she has historically still tagged Offset in photos. Those have all been choices. She is not just a victim of this divorce. She is a participant in why it has not closed. Whether she realizes it or not. Whether she likes it or not. Whether the timeline wants to hear that or not. This is a two-way knot. And that's a hard sentence to type. Now don't get it twisted. None of that excuses what Offset has done. The My Kid LOL post is not normal behavior. The redacted DNA filing on another child is not normal behavior. Calling her relationship a PR rollout is not normal behavior. He has weaponized every tool the law has given him. He has used the marital presumption like a hammer instead of a shield. He has reduced his own kids' household stability to a chess move. That is on him. That is documented. That is on the record. But the woman who keeps picking up that phone, the woman who keeps trying to be a good co-parent, with a man who is actively suing her newborn. That woman has to look in the mirror too. And from the way she walked into that Burtonsville parking lot, I think she finally did. I think she saw herself. I think she saw the cycle. I think she saw Diggs leaning on that car the way she used to see Offset lean on the same kind of car 5 years ago. And I think something inside her snapped. That's the part of this nobody is going to tell you on the timeline. Because the timeline only sells you the highlight clip. The timeline doesn't show you a woman watching her own pattern repeat. Rehook 10. We are in the final stretch. If you've been with me from the first line, you already know. This isn't a video about an argument. This is a video about a cycle. And the cycle has a name. The deeper insight? The Burtonsville footage is not the climax. It is a checkpoint. There will be more video. There will be more leaks. There will be more deleted stories. There will be more developing updates. As long as Cardi B and Stefon Diggs are still pretending in front of cameras and combusting in parking lots, the cycle is going to repeat. The receipts will keep dropping. The chef will keep posting. Offset will keep filing. Tasha K will keep typing, even when she's not supposed to. That parking lot was not the ending. That parking lot was an episode. And here's the new angle people haven't published yet. Word coming out of a separate camp says Cardi has been quietly meeting with new attorneys this past month. Not new divorce lawyers. New media lawyers. The kind of lawyers you hire when you're preparing for a major leak or a major filing. Not when you're trying to settle a custody case. That tracks with the energy of the Burtonsville clip. That tracks with the timing of the "I feel my life in danger" tweet. That tracks with the sudden Mother's Day reconciliation that imploded 96 hours later. The math is adding up to a woman bracing herself for impact. Now, disclaimer, that's the chatter. That's not confirmed. That's the whisper. But the whisper aligns with what's already on the public record. And when a whisper aligns with a record, that is when smart people start preparing for the headline before it breaks. So let me leave you with this. Look at the original clip one more time. Watch her hand. Watch the bystander's grip. Watch how Diggs never moves off that car. Watch how the whole scene feels familiar to him, like he has been here before, in a different lot, with a different woman, with a different camera. That is the part that should make you sit up. That is the part the streets are whispering about. That is the energy of a man who has watched a partner unravel in front of him before. Choose your own adventure. This is a developing story. And by the time you finish reading this, something else has probably leaked. A new clip, a new filing, a new whisper from a new insider. That's how this works now. You don't get an ending. You get a checkpoint. You get a parking lot. You get a tweet. And then you wait for the next drop. Final rehook. If you read this whole thing, and I mean every word, leave one word in the comments: Burtonsville. That's the marker. That's the receipt. That's how I'll know you actually saw the deep dive everybody else skipped. And if you really want to know where this ends, it ends the day a judge signs that divorce. Not the day Cardi and Stefon kiss in front of cameras. Not the day a chef goes quiet. Not the day Offset turns the page. Not the day Tasha K disappears. None of that closes the chapter. A signature closes the chapter. Until then, every parking lot, every pink backdrop, every Mother's Day post, every Spaces audio, every "I was just hungry" tweet is a band-aid on a wound the courthouse refuses to stitch. So go ahead and laugh at the hangry excuse if you want. Buy the spin if it makes the timeline easier. But when the next clip drops, and it will drop, remember this script. Remember Burtonsville. Remember the chef's message. Remember the "My Kid LOL." Remember the DNA filing. Remember the Florida casino. Remember the contempt order. Remember Mother's Day. Remember every layer. Because once you see the full picture, you can't unsee it. And every channel telling you they're hungry, mind your business, is selling you a thumbnail. We are showing you the file. And let me say one more thing on the way out, because this part deserves its own moment. There's a class of celebrity drama that gets sold to us as gossip. Hungry couple in a parking lot. Cute. Funny. Click. Scroll. Done. But there is another class, the one we're sitting in right now, where there is a baby in a hospital bracelet, a courtroom file with a redacted minor's name, a chef carrying a story she swears is true, an athlete carrying a not guilty verdict that the public hasn't fully signed off on, an ex-husband filing motions while recovering from a shooting, and a mother of 4 trying to keep her empire from cracking. That is not gossip. That is real life with a thumbnail wrapped around it. And the work of this kind of breakdown, the deep dive kind, is to make sure that when the next clip drops, you're not consuming it as a meme. You're consuming it as a piece of a much bigger story that started long before the cameras showed up. Because everybody loves a viral moment. Almost nobody studies the wreckage underneath it. We do. That's what we do here. So one last time, for the streets, for the receipts, for the timeline, that divorce paper is still unsigned. Until it is, the parking lot will not be the last clip. Until it is, the chef will not be the last voice. Until it is, Offset will not be the last filing. Until it is, Tasha K will not be the last contempt order. Until it is, Diggs will not be the last unsigned NFL free agent making a comeback through his girlfriend's red carpet. Until it is, Cardi B will not be the last woman dipped on a pink backdrop at a Mother's Day event for the optics. Until that paper is signed, the cycle keeps moving. And every developing story, tag you see at the bottom of a blog about these three names is really just a polite way of saying, nobody knows where this lands yet, and the people inside the room are still writing it. In real time, with us watching.